We have launched our Parkley application. Our MVP-related user stories from our backlog has been delivered and given to our users. Some are actively using Parkley every day, along with some new users as well. We started to receive many feedbacks from them. The true goal of an MVP is validated learning. Now we need to close the feedback loop. StoriesOnBoard provides a dedicated interface to receive insights from our users and stakeholders, creating actionable feature ideas based on the received insights, and to share them over a public portal. This feedback management module allows us to transform this received information and link back directly to our product vision. Under the Insight tab, we can find our Insight inbox where all of the received information from our users and stakeholders will land and pile up. We can connect this Insight inbox with our CRM system to import all of the received insights into StoriesOnBoard. We can also set up a dedicated email address where our users and stakeholders can directly send information for us. We can access all user feedback and stakeholder insights regarding to their pains, feature requests, or anything else. Some of our users already asking for easily accessing the frequently used parking zones. Some of them want filtering options according to price or distance. And we also launched Parkley with a map view initially. Some of the users asking for a list view. We can see that multiple users want the same goal. When all of these insights shows a direction, we can create actionable feature ideas on a dedicated idea board. This board holds critical information for our team. The structure itself is customizable and you can set up according to your workflow. What I have done here, first we consider something and then we move through the funnel and now we are planning it. We realized that many users want sorting options for the displayed parking zones. Now in our inbox, when we see this, for example, according to the price, the user wants a filtering option. Since we created our idea according to the sorting parking zone option as a new feature, we can directly attach to it. We can also see that there is another user asking for sorting. There is another user asking for price zone. We can do that. The rest of the insights that is in our inbox, we can of course anytime attach to the right ideal on our ideal board. If there is a new topic, we can convert it directly into an idea and later connect additional insights that we receive. Of course, manual sorting can be eliminated through automations. On the ideal board, we can also see that how many insights attached to certain ideas. We can open them. We can provide information for our team, why we are considering to implement this feature, what is the benefits for our users, and additional details. We can see that the 3 insights that we connected to the sorting parking zone feature is already here. Most of the users asking for price or distance. We can access who are those users sending the insights and information for us, and of course a contact list is available, so eventually when we introduce this feature or any update, we can let the users know that we took their advice into consideration and shape the product with their help. The ideal board also accommodates filtering options. When we have multiple teams or even we are working on a complex environment with multiple product components in the same software, many ideas and feature requests come in. We can create filters for the right team accessing their information. For example, the UX team. We can save the filter and anytime switch between them. We can return to the overall view. We can discuss all the possibilities that we have currently. This view is internal for our team, accessing all the insights and information. We can also share information with our users over a portal. We can identify what items or elements we want to share with them. We currently only want to show them 3 stages: the under consideration, planning, and work in progress. We do not want them currently to see any of the labels that we are utilizing. We can set the portal visibility public, and we are able to share our portal through a link with them. Our stakeholders and users can also take an active part in prioritization over the portal. We know that already that the sorting parking zones is one of the most wanted features at this point based on the received insights. Our visitors can also upvote on the items displayed on the portal, helping us in prioritization. If a visitor of the portal has anything in mind which is currently not listed, they can send a new feedback which will add a new insight into the insight inbox for the team. They can then decide whether they are nominating that insight into a new idea or attach it to one of the existing ideas on the idea board. After careful prioritization with the team, when we decided this feature should be implemented in the next release, we can push it directly to the product backlog where we are handling Parkley application. The idea going to have a direct link to the backlog itself. When we open it, our imported idea make it to the backlog with all the details that we have. So we can take this item in our backlog and place it into the upcoming release. We are considering it to implement in the second release, where we are viewing the nearby parking options. Now in the second release, the filtering options going to be critical. In order to close the feedback loop efficiently, we can access our ideas from the idea board in our backlog. We can search for the sorting one. We can access then what is this ideal about and what are those critical insights that we receive from our users. For example, Alex wants a filtering option for price. So in order to do so, we can create a new user story in our backlog, enabling the filtering zones per price. We can mark these insights processed. We can always keep up what are those insights attached to this new feature idea that we haven't considered and what are those that are already incorporated into our product backlog. Now we have Alex, who is also asking for a distance sorting. We can also create this item in our backlog, filtering zones per distance, and mark it processed. Now we can see that clearly that this idea is fully executed with all the received insights. If this feature has been completed, we can mark the idea itself as processed. So anytime we can see that there is no further information required to take action on. This way, we can close the feedback loop as efficient as possible and build the next release loaded with real user values. Eventually, when we will release the second release and give it to our users, we are going to keep asking them to provide us feedback. Once again, we can channel all those feedback and insights into our inbox, organize them into actionable feature ideas, share and communicate with our stakeholders and users, prioritize, and make it into the development cycle in order to build the best possible product release by release for our users that they will love to use. This is one of the most critical part of how we can validate the learning process through our MVP creation. And now it's your turn to take advantage of what you have learned today. Happy story mapping!